Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The 100. This week we've seen Season 3, Episode 9, which is entitled Stealing Fire. And that reminds me weirdly of the whole Hunger Games Catching Fire thing, just the title. Just very different, quality dystopian tales there. Parts of the Hunger Games are okay at best, but The 100 is definitely one of the best shows I've ever seen, so kind of a difference there. But anyway, I know this review's late, but just with my work schedule, and I did have yesterday off, but I wanted to use that to spend time with my girlfriend. We went to go see Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which I did really like overall. My review on that is still coming, though. I'm kind of letting it simmer in my mind a little bit more. That'll probably be out within the next few days, though. But I did watch the 100 episode from last night today, and overall I thought it was another really good one. But to be honest, there's not an episode of the 100 that I don't like. It's just that good of a show. It's one of my favorites now for sure, along with shows like Penny Dreadful, The Strain, The Walking Dead, things like that. We had a lot going on. We had the situation at Arcadia with Pike, and then we also had what was going on at the command, where the grounders are at, and it also featured a huge character death, another pretty big one. We already seen the death of Lexa in episode 7, I think it was 13. And this one is another big one. This is the death of a fan favorite character, I'd say, Lincoln. I didn't really expect that in the long run, or I didn't really expect that, like, if you had asked me about it a while ago. But, like others, I did hear that the actor, Ricky Whittle, he's actually going to be on a new show at some point soon, I think. I forget what it is. So, yeah, we're losing people to different roles here, because that's sort of what happened with, Alicia Debnam Carey, who played Lexa. She was just getting this huge commitment to Fear the Walking Dead, and so she kind of had to cut her run on the 100 short, and that's kind of what happened with Ricky Whittle here. He's committed as the lead character on a show called American Gods, apparently, which is a show that's going to be on the Starz Network. And it sounds like it could be a pretty cool show or something, but just because I love the 100 so much, I just wish these people would just stay here. But at the same time, I know that can't happen with everyone, and there's going to be, more supporting-ish type of characters that are going to want other opportunities. And so the show can definitely keep going as long as we have our, core characters, like Clarke, Bellamy, people like that. I say we can keep going. And really, people just get too angry over character death sometimes, Yes, it was really sad to see Lincoln go, very sad to see Lexa go earlier. But at the same time, I sort of appreciate that they do have big character deaths like this, whether they're kind of forced right at this time or not. We had Finn back in Season 2, which was a huge one. Still probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest still. Just like Game of Thrones, just like The Walking Dead, to a certain extent, we lose characters. That's just kind of the nature of the world they're in, and it's more realistic to what they're trying to make it out to be. So I can still appreciate it in that sense. I think other people should kind of try to take it like that too. Take it as the nature of the world they're in, the nature of the story, the nature of the genre. So, I don't know, it's definitely not I'm excited to see the reaction to whoever dies on The Walking Dead this Sunday. See if they're going to riot or not. But anyway, we'll talk more about Lincoln's death towards the end of the video. But like I said, the rest of the episode is pretty good too. We get Murphy and Clarke. They're trapped in the room, and Murphy actually tells Clarke he's sorry about her losing Lexa. He knows how much she meant to her. So Murphy's been an interesting character. He starts off as a guy we definitely hate at the beginning of the show, and then we see maybe there's more going on with him. Maybe he's just another one of these kids affected by this world too, which he is. But then he sort of flip-flops a little bit again towards the later part of this episode, which kind of bugged me. They go to the purification ritual. They talk to Aiden. They feel like, he is meant to be the second to Lexa, so he's supposed to be the one that's going to rise up. But Antari, part of the Ice Nation, she comes in and, she wants to assert herself as the commander. She's one of the rulers, but she wants to, be the, front of everyone, just like Lexa was as the commander, or as she is supposed to be anyway. And I actually thought we were going to get, an actual, honorable, not honorable, but, an actual fight scene, sort of like Lex had with Roan. I thought we were going to get that, but we actually had a very different result, which I guess I shouldn't have been too surprised by either. I did like Aiden talking about how, Lex, they all loved Lexa, we had a sense that Lexa was really a good person, it just wasn't the thing in her neck that made her who she was. But we'll talk more about that in a couple minutes. But of course, if Antari takes over, she's going to be hell-bent on going after the Sky Crew and, just annihilating them. Of course, Lincoln, Kane, and St. Clair are sent to be executed. Bellamy is finally coming around again. He's trying to organize a plan, with the likes of, Monty and Harper, Miller, and the rest of them that are in there. But that sort of gets messed with a little bit. Let's see, and then again about Lexa, Titus talks about how there are certain qualities Lexa already possessed before she got that thing put into her, that she was already really strong, really caring for her people, and she had a lot of qualities that Clarke had met her with, but as Titus says, the thing really just amplifies parts of them that are already there. So if Antari were to become commander, however, she would probably be even more driven to go after the Sky Crew, so that would not be good. Let's see. But Antari also ends up killing Aiden and taking his head. We didn't really see, the face of Aiden's decapitated head, but, you kind of see more of, a shot from the back of the head and stuff, which is still really brutal, though. She basically, decapitated probably, 12, 13-year-old kid. I forget how old he is supposed to be. So definitely brutal. So she's basically wanting to take her position by force, whatever means possible. She doesn't really want to put up with all this ritual bullshit. She just sort of wants to take it into her hands right away. Let's see. Octavia ends up injecting Bellamy to knock him out. Saying she, for the first time in her life, she doesn't need her big brother. So she kind of goes off to try and get Lincoln and the rest of them out of there herself. And I feel like this is a bit of a mistake. I feel like they should have had Bellamy with them to sort of play along to what he was planning to, because I feel like they have had a better chance of getting everyone out of there if Bellamy is there moving chips too and stuff. Because the point he was trying to make is that he could kind of get in close to Pike and sort of be more directly clouding him or something, or more directly messing with things, in a more direct manner. So I feel like Octavia should have kind of taken him up on that, but at the same time I kind of understand why Bellamy's a little bit more of a unsure thing for a lot of the characters right now. But Bellamy is coming around again, and I feel like he's sort of back on, the good side of things. It's not that simple good and evil, but you know what I mean. He's back with the characters we want to win here, so. Again, I'm not the greatest with words. I'm sure that's not why you guys watch my videos, those who actually do. But, let's see. We get a pretty good scene between Abby and Kane, saying she can't do this again, talking about losing Kane. She gets a minute to talk with him. And I felt like they were going to kiss there, but that actually comes a little bit later. But I can see how deeply their bond has grown, and I really thought it was, pretty good acting on both sides from Henry and Cusick and Paige Turco here. We get more on that later, though, for sure. Roan shows Clarke and Murphy the way out. And, he says if he sees them again, he's not going to extend the same mercy, or he's not going to see them as, he's not going to come off quite as nice. Basically, he's basically going to try to kill him if he sees him again, supposedly. And it's kind of funny to see Zach McGowan in this role on The 100 after seeing what went down in Black Sails. But yeah, anyway, probably shouldn't talk about that show. Pike ends up being made aware of Octavia, due to Monty's mother, sort of being in the room with him when he's trying to communicate back and forth with him. Bellamy's asking Indra to cut him loose so he can, go in and still try to help what Octavia's trying to do, but of course that's not going to happen. And then there's this whole story about that Titus tells about there being an 8th and someone who's actually still alive that Lexa didn't kill and who's out there somewhere. So the whole idea is that maybe they can find this girl named Luna, apparently. I hope I got that right. I'm probably getting mixed up about something in this episode. I usually do. So Clarke's going to end up searching for her, I think. And I wonder if they're sort of just going to make Luna what Lexa would have still been right now because she's gone. You know what I mean? Because Lexa's gone, they kind of want someone to fill the void right away. I wonder if Luna's kind of going to be that. I don't know, we'll see. That might piss some people off. But, maybe it'll turn out alright. Again, we got that Kane and Abby kiss. And, yeah, I felt that coming, you could see that coming for a while. I thought they developed that pretty well. It's definitely a huge leap from where they started off in the series back in Season 1, for sure. And Lincoln, everyone else is made aware of that they're going to kill the rest of his people that were still locked in there if, they didn't give themselves up. So Lincoln goes back to sacrifice himself. It completely fits with Lincoln's character, He never wanted to be put over anyone else, and he never wanted to be put over anyone he really cared about, his people, Octavia, things like that. So I thought that was completely fitting. Titus ends up killing himself because they're going to keep him alive at first because he's the only one who supposedly can do the whole fire ritual thing, and so he kind of moves his own throat against Roan's blade and kills himself there for Lexa. So they're not going to be able to go through the whole process, at least for a while, if they can figure it out with someone else. Or there's probably only a special few people who actually can go about it like he could, though. And before that, we also had Murphy getting a little bit flirty with Antari, which again kind of frustrated me because I'm just not sure where Murphy's going to go long term. Sometimes he shows better sides of himself. He's definitely a lot more complex than he was in Season 1, but here it seems like he'll probably end up hooking up with Antari, but we'll see about that, the way they're looking at each other as she rose from the bath and stuff. But, yeah. Anyway. And then we, of course, have Lincoln's execution. Kane's carrying Octavia out on a horse as she's still knocked out, but then, of course, she wakes up in time and she sees Pike take Lincoln outside, and Pike asks him for any last words, and he says not for you, and then Pike at least gives his word that they're not gonna let any of his people go, but they're not gonna kill him today either. So I kind of believe him on that part, but we'll see how long it actually lasts. And he sort of looks around, and he knows Octavia is probably watching somewhere, so he says maybe we meet again. Then Pike shoots him in the head, and he falls. And I like the music along with this, though. It is tragic, but felt fitting again at the same time. That's the thing. Another well done death of a big character. I'm sad to see him go, but again, I think they handled it pretty well. It's unfortunate that both Lexa and Lincoln are gone from the show a little bit earlier than they might have been, because both of the actors leaving for different shows. But at the same time, I think they wrote it as well as they could have, for the most part anyway. So I definitely don't think people should stop watching the show or anything. It's still a phenomenal show, one of the best out there for sure. One of my favorites, no question. But yeah, overall a great episode. I don't know how many episodes are going to be in this season. I think it's 16 or so again. I'm not entirely sure. Someone tell me if you know. I'm guessing it's 16. But I'm not sure. Anyway, overall another good episode. Really did enjoy it. And like I said, my next video will probably be... Well, I know the Vampire Diaries and the originals are coming back tonight to start airing the rest of, Season 3 and Season 8. my reviews on that are going to be a little bit late too because I'm working tonight, so I'm going to have to miss them. But I will watch them and do my videos on those as soon as possible, along with Winona Earp is also premiering tonight. I'm hoping to get home before the replay at 12 tonight, but if I don't, I'm definitely going to have to catch up on that too. But my next few videos are definitely going to be Vampire Diaries Originals, Winona Earp, and when my girlfriend and I get some time to hang out again, we'll probably do our review on Batman v Superman. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can follow me on Facebook, Movie Pilot, Twitter, and look for RentsWorld.com. Catch you guys next time, and peace.